Hey friends, welcome to Creators X, our series with Vultr, looking at the fabulous humans behind the tech building the future. I am very excited to be here with an old friend, John. Thanks for coming to kick it.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Yes, great to see you too. You and I have had some exciting conversations about AI in the past. I loved what y'all are doing on the hockey side of things. I've seen a lot of real examples of the tech in the wild actually creating value. What use cases are you most excited about right now?
Well, on a personal level, probably like everybody else, I was a computer science guy. So I grew up, educated, taught myself how to program when I was young, reading my dad's programming books. I obviously, went through school and then became a professional engineer for a little bit. The software engineering, software development side is blowing my mind right now. I mean,
Yeah.
it is just the pace in which it's accelerating and improving is, I don't think anybody could foresee that coming. And I also think it's probably the first horizontal use case that the enterprises can really get on board with, right? Because every business these days is a software company at some, in some shape or form. And so that's where you can start to see real tangible ROI there for
Yeah.
every industry, no matter what business they're in. So that's pretty exciting stuff.
It is exciting, and it's a great point about the multiple verticals. Are you tinkering or building anything yourself?
I wish I had more time. I am trying. I always have this like sticky note with telling me to go jump in and start experimenting with some of these new platforms.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to wait until this VAST gig's over so I can dive back in. No, but I am going to try to take some time off during a holiday. I'm going to dig back in. I'm very excited. I have played with it on the periphery, but nothing. Some of our colleagues are, waist deep in it these days. But I'm not there yet. Soon.
Well,
Soon.
I think that's a good point, though. Everything's moving so fast that even people like you and I, or someone with a history in computer science, hasn't been able to dive all the way in yet.
Yeah.
Because there's so many exciting things. What do you hope that AI does for your friends and family?
On the general benefit for society, point of view, I really do still believe that AI is going to help radically change medicine, right? And so in the field of life sciences and research and precision medicine and drug discovery, like that's, I had some family health issues in my family and my extended family, so I would love to see radical, improvements in everyone's life moving forward. That's what I'm still hoping for. I don't know if that's our generation or the future generation, but I'm seeing that. We're experiencing that, even some of that here at VAST, which I'm very hopeful for. So I hope there's a tangible benefit there. I don't know. I have a mother who's getting a little older, so obviously self-driving vehicles at some point.
Yes.
We all age and we shouldn't be driving probably past a certain point. So having cars,
Should we ever be driving, really?
I would love to not drive personally.
Yeah,
so
I'm with
having some sort of autonomy as a human, but not having to worry about, especially in the U.S. where everything is very centered around the automobile, right?
Right.
I think that's super important. That's going to be a great boost for many families as well.
Yes, no, I like that. And I actually, it sounds silly, when we think of the generation that made us, I think a lot more about the healthcare side. I hadn't actually thought about the autonomous vehicles. That is such a great, duh, that's a super obvious
I remember
moment,
my grandmother didn't really drive, so my grandfather drove, but then when my grandfather got sick and then when he passed away, then she had a license but never really drove.
Yeah.
So, if there was technology like this back then she could have carried on her life a little bit longer, autonomously, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think about stuff like that. It's kind of weird, but I think it does. Those subtle things do have.
I don't think it's weird at all. I think that's what makes it real, though.
It is,
and
yeah.
you knowing, having the confidence that there's the security and reliability of said autonomous vehicle, and even the systems around that, to be able to check in on her if you need to, or if you're going to call for help if something's going to happen.
Exactly.
You never know. I love that we're talking about family. You mentioned that you have a brother that you taught everything who happens to be a star in Taiwan.
So if my brother, hopefully he doesn't watch this because he'll get a very big head, but my brother, I'm very proud of him, jokes aside, I'm very proud of him. He actually took a completely different course than I did in the technology space. We both grew up in a basketball family, played basketball competitively growing up. He went to go play professional basketball overseas after college. And then he just stayed. So he's now got his family in Taiwan. They are doing great. He's still very, very much involved in the basketball community. And is almost almost like the ambassador, if you will, kind of connecting the U.S. basketball with Taiwan and kind of the growing popularity of basketball across all of Asia has been pretty exciting to watch too.
Yeah, that is really cool. He kind of, as you talked about being the spokesperson or the bridge there, it's similar to what you do in terms of alliances.
Very different industry, yes, but similar
but same
goals.
good vibes.
Yes, you're right.
Same good vibes
You're
and relationship building. Unique question for you.
Okay.
If Vultr was a pro basketball player, who would they be?
Oh man. I don't know why this just came to my head, but there used to be a player, his nickname was Birdman. I don't know why it just comes to me, but I remember vividly one time playing pickup basketball at a junior college, and then in walks this guy who's very tall, and he wasn't famous back then, and he started playing one-on-one with him. And fast forward many years later, I found out he was, obviously an NBA player, and obviously he crushed us.
Casual flex, though. I mean, my gosh, that's so cool, John.
That was fun. Yeah. So I don't know. That's dating myself. People are gonna be like, "Who's that?" But
no. Well, what do you think? Outside of the obvious Vultr and Bird parallels, what else about him as a player reminds you of working with the Vultr team?
I think that these guys are both very scrappy. He was. Birdman was famous for. He's obviously a very big leaper. He could jump, but he was scrappy, can get it done, right? Type of player. And I love that. I mean, it's kind of reminiscent, if you go even older school, to like Dennis Rodman days of running and diving. There you go, right? Running and diving for balls and loose balls and. I don't know. That's
I like that.
Silly analogy, but that's just where my head went.
No, it's not silly, because I think sometimes we're talking about very complex systems and technology, and when someone's looking for a good analogy for why someone should use someone, why not use Birdman?
I love it.
I know. I love it. Since we're here, what player would VAST be?
I mean, it's going to be too cliche if I say the GOAT.
You can say whatever you want.
We've got to be the Michael Jordan of the data infrastructure space. I don't know.
I love that.
Again, I'm going to date myself. Everyone's who's not? No, everyone knows Michael Jordan. Everyone knows who Jordan
realize
is.
The youngsters
they might say LeBron. They might say LeBron, but I'm just saying. I'm old. Kobe. I do love Kobe, but I grew up in that 80s era where it was Jordan basketball. So,
I'm with you. Don't worry. You might be dating yourself. You're dating both of us at least.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. I'm with you. Last conversational topic for us today is cooking.
Okay.
You love to cook. What do you like to make in the kitchen?
I make everything. This is partly instilled by my mom, I think. My mom was a great home cook. She ran a restaurant for many years as well.
Cool.
I think my default is I just cook mostly Asian food at home. I'm very keen on getting an outdoor walk to kick it up a notch, go to the next level.
Oh, yeah.
But I love cooking all kinds of things. I like working on the grill. I'm in Texas, so we do a lot of grilling and barbecue. But I try to be well-rounded, try different things, try French cuisine, and not as good as my Asian cooking, but I'll try everything once. It's all good. So I love it.
It's a fun way to stay curious and to be playful. Do you ever leverage technology to help you figure out recipes and stuff?
I do. I mean, we were just talking about this before we sat down, but especially as I get busy weeks, I sometimes will use ChatGPT to help me just like an easy shopping list. What do I want to cook? Here's, help me plan 3 meals, build me a shopping list. I go to the grocery store, pick it up. One day I'm just going to automate all that with my coding.
Exactly.
Place those orders online, grocery
project.
Delivery. There you go. So I'm sure that's out there somewhere. Someone's got an open call skill for that, I'm sure, somewhere. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's mostly what I use it for. But I think I've also, one of the things about taking on a craft like cooking is you just build a sense of what works, and you don't really follow recipes anymore. You can that was what my mom always did. And so you kind of understand what spices and seasonings pair and form different combinations, and you can make derivatives of that. And that's like the art of cooking that I think I just personally enjoy so much. So.
I first of all, that was an absolutely great analogy, and I think there's a lot of parallels between cooking and food. I've actually always wanted to do a tech cooking show because I think it would be really interesting. But there's a moment of comfort that you reach, I think, when you've been in the kitchen enough, or at least with a certain genre. For you, it's Asian food. For me, it's Italian. you can rely on certain ratios and certain ingredients.
That's right.
And you can at least get somewhere close to where you're going, and then do whatever magical thing it is you're going to do after that. But I think it's a really good metaphor for where you're at now. You're going to cook for us next time.
Happy to. We should do it.
Yeah.
Set up a kitchen studio. We'll do it.
We absolutely. I actually know of one here in SF. It would be
fun.
It would be super fun to do it. I think it'd be really. I think that it would be really unique. Okay, last question for you. Since we get to catch up relatively regularly, this time next year, what do you hope to be able to say then that you can't yet say today?
Oh man. Well, I think from the company perspective here at VAST, I think we have a lot cooking, no pun intended.
No, let's pun it up.
A lot cooking right now is we are moving up the stack in terms of offering more than just data and storage services. What gets me very excited is that we're now moving into the world of applications. And so we have a bunch of partnerships that some we've announced, some that are still to be announced. I think a year from now, you're going to see a wider range. It'll be a lot more clear on what we were talking about and why we've been building all these different capabilities in our platform. I think for a lot of casual observers of VAST from the outside, don't quite understand why we're taking on so much in terms of our ambitions and our product goals and our roadmap, but it's very intentional and it may not be clear yet, but hopefully by next year it'll be a lot clearer for everybody because we'll have demonstrated some of the success and some of the outcomes that I can't yet talk about. So.
Oh, well, I love that. Great teaser there, John. We look forward to following up on that.
Tuned, yeah.
And I hope that for your own sake, that maybe you've tinkered around and built a kitchen cooking. I'm going to hold you accountable.
We should.
We'll show it off on the cooking show. John, thanks so much.
Thanks for having
busy
me.
Week.
Oh, good to see you.
Such a joy. Good to see you too. And I hope all of you are as hungry as I am now here on Creators X for Vultr. My name is Savannah Peterson. Thanks for coming to learn with us.